Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, JenksTCG. Today we're going to be talking about the deck that I played for the Atlas Pog Championships, or the Pokemon Online Global Event Series, whatever you want to call it. Me, Isaiah Bradner, and Justin Bocari ended up rocking the same 60 Vikavolt deck. It's pretty interesting. The list is really cool. Isaiah Bradner ended up going on to win the event with it, and unfortunately I had to double concede my top 8 match and go to work, but deck's really cool. It's that pre-rotation format. I think you're gonna like it, so let's hop into the video. Alright, so here's that deck list I was talking about. Pikachu and Zekrom, Pikavolt, Pika, whatever you want to call it. Here's the deck. And honestly, it's just a simple Pikarom deck, but it has 2 copies of Vikavolt in it. And I mean, it's similar to our Players Cup list that we played, except there's Jirachis in it this time. And honestly, I think the thing that really just granted Isaiah, Justin, and I such success this past weekend was the fact that Pikarom's consistent, and not a lot of people were talking about it. And it seems that that particular group of people continuously, prove people wrong that the deck is still viable. And yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to be playing in the Pog Championships due to other reasons, but I ended up registering the night before, rolled with the 60 that I was handed, and this is what I was handed. Overall, full blitz, very powerful. Pikarom's at 240 HP tag team. Tag Bolt gonna do 200 and 170 to the bench for 6 lightning. It's broken card, been broken since it's been printed. And then we have that Raichu and Raichu, which was that cool thing that ended up getting printed in Unified Minds. Tandem Shock for 80, and then if you switch, does an 80 more and paralyzes, so very powerful with Reset Stamp. Lightning Ride 150 with 2 additional energies, so 5 total, 250, switch to the bench. A great slew of lightning attackers. Zeraora, free retreat to all the boys. Tapu, Koko, gonna accelerate some energy into play. I mean, we know the deck, it's the same old, but there's a new introduction to the deck, and this is one of my favorite cards that I mentioned in that top 10 Darkness Ablaze cards. Vikavolt V, the one and only. Quaking Punch is still good 6 years later, even if it's not for a DCE, and if you're not familiar, Quaking Punch from Seismitoad EX is the same effect as Paralyzing Bolt, just for different damage. So Paralyzing Bolt for a lightning and a colorless energy, gonna do 50 damage and prevent the opponent from playing any item cards from their hand. This is incredibly powerful. It can make opponents completely get out of the game with a single attack if they brick, draw too many items, don't play their items, and depending on the deck, you can completely run over stuff with just this copy of this card. 210 HP lightning type Pokemon, and then it has Super Zap Cannon for double lightning colorless, 190, discard 2 energy from the Pokemon. 3 retreat, and yeah, this is really something that helped the deck shine a ton. Matchups like Baby Blounds, anything rogue, it was really impactful on a Zacian if you could go Paralyzing Bolt after they use Brave Blade, and then they have pretty much no way to switch without hard retreating or using Bird Keeper. And not many lists actually played those cards, so overall, I mean, there was a lot of niche uses for this card. The item lock effect is just really strong, and yeah, another thing notable that wasn't in the deck previously, 2 copies of Big Charm. It's going to give the Pokemon it's attached to 30 plus HP. This was incredibly useful on putting it onto Pikarom for Zacian with the ADP GX attack, or Raichu. It's very good against Baby Blounds, good against, Zacian. Overall, it's very solid, and it just helps to make those Pokemon a little bit beefier. Make a Turnitus, use some more energy to knock out stuff, or sorry, Pokemon to knock stuff out, and overall just contribute to a strong list. The only thing I would make a change to for this deck list would to be adding a 3rd Dedenne. As to what I would cut, not 100% sure, but definitely wanted a 3rd Dedenne. There were a lot of times I would open a Dedenne and then have Quick Ball and just be super scared that I wasn't going to be able to draw out of it. So yeah, overall the deck was super strong. Obviously, like I said, Isaiah Bradner ended up going on and winning the event with it, Justin placing in the top 32, and then myself, I placed top 8. Unfortunately, I had to double concede to my opponent, which I believe was a pretty good matchup, and go to work, which definitely sucked, but it is what it is. I'm glad that my friend ended up winning the event with it, and yeah, overall it's a really solid deck. So let's get into my matchups, and yeah. Alright, so for my matchups, I don't really remember exactly each round and how it played out, but round 1, I took the loss to Scorch. I ended up whiffing a crucial attachment that would have put me into the game, and then the other game I unfortunately drew pass off the start, so not amazing start. But then I went and won 8 rounds straight to be first seed going into top 8. So round 2 I won against the Mirror. I'm pretty sure I just used full blitz, got ahead early, and was able to steamroll from there. Then I hit ADP-Z. I used that paralyzing bolt strategy, like I said, on the Zacians to get my opponent a little bit stuck so they couldn't just pivot between their Zacians, and was able to just paralyzing bolt my opponent out of the game for the most part. Then I hit a Lucario Melmetal, similar strategy. Paralyzing Bolt was super good here, just being able to prevent retreats and stuff like that. Scoop up nets. My opponent was playing heavy Malolana, and being able to block those scoop up nets was very, very good. Then I hit Eternatus VMAX. I remember just trying to set up and attack. I believe my opponent had some bad draws on this part. Not 100% sure though. Then I hit 2 Galaxy Mewtwo's back to back. Once I was able to clear the Phalanx off the board that was going to allow them to one-shot my Lightning guys, I was pretty smooth sailing from there. I do know that some of them didn't draw amazing in some of their games, so unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. Then round 8, I hit Eternatus again, and I lost game 1, ended up winning game 2, and game 3, it was very crushing. I just sat there and paralyzing bolt for multiple turns until I was able to set up a checkmate lock and on the board. So I feel kind of disgusting, but Quaking Punch effects or Paralyzing Bolt effects that prevent items can kind of steal games sometimes. And in addition to that, on round 9, I got the down pair, so I was unable to ID, hit Baby Bounce, and just kind of Paralyzing Bolt, set up some Tag Bolt plays, and won from there. So those were my matchups overall. I would have hit the Welder Mewtwo deck in top 8, but unfortunately couldn't play it out. And yeah, that was my tournament run. Isaiah Bradner ended up going and winning the event. You can check out his VOD games on Twitch on the Pog Championships channel. But that's going to be doing it for me. That's all I have about this event. I think it was really well ran. I think the community gives the Pog organizers a little bit of a hard time for what happened. I know that inconsistencies within the tournament are a little annoying for people that are players, but I mean, you got to be proud of what the Pog people at Atlas were able to do. They set up a great event for the great community, and overall very much appreciated. So I didn't actually play day 1, I didn't clarify that, but I received the automatic day 2 based on my standing within the season. But yeah, shout out to those guys, especially Drayden Davis, who invited me into the event. And yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for this. I have some more content coming out this week, interviews with the Pog Championship winner, Isaiah Bradner, about the deck, and we'll get into that when it arrives. But that's going to be doing it for me today. I started streaming last night on Twitch around 12 a.m. So I think that's going to be the new schedule. I need to rework some things. But join the Discord, check out the Twitch, subscribe, like, comment, turn that notification bell on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for coming out, and have a good one.